Hi everybody, and welcome to another tutorial by me, Phantom, Photoshop User Extraordinaire. Yes, I gave myself that title, and no, I'm not that good, but, you know. Let's go up to File and create a new file. We're going to be doing a simple reflective text tutorial today. Let's call this reflective text. 500 by 500 pixels is just fine. We're keeping it at 72 dots per inch, or resolution, in other words, because we're just creating this for web, for the video you guys will be watching on YouTube. If I were to be creating this for print, I would change this to 300 pixels per inch, or dots per inch, as they say in the industry, and I would change the color mode to CMYK. But since we're doing it for web, just think of it, web is, sorry, that was my door because of the wind. RGB is for web, and CMYK is for print. Okay, so let's hit OK. My cat got so scared, that was really funny. Alright, so we're going to go over and grab the type tool, and I'm going to click here in the middle, and as you can see, the minute I click, a layer appears over here on the layer panel, which is layer 1. It's already a typed layer, so that's cool. And let's type here, let's do YouTube. Actually, I'm going to use all caps. I like using caps, so I'm going to hit caps lock YouTube. And there we go, that's good. And pull it down a little bit. I'm holding down shift while I drag so it stays in a straight line. I could go like this, but then I'd have to sit here and like get it centered. So if I just hold down shift and drag it down, then I know it's in the right spot. Let's hold down Control T, and Control T gives you this transform box. It's free transform. If you don't want to use shortcuts, you can go up to edit and go to free transform right here, and it does the exact same thing. You should get in the habit of using shortcuts. They're not your enemy, they're your friend, and they're a little scary at first, but you can always back up. Alright, so while holding down shift, this is key, you want to have this icon appear on the corner, not this one, but this one. And you want to drag out, and what that does is it just sizes everything exponentially. It doesn't skew it at all, which is awesome. So we got our thing here, let's click YouTube, perfect. Okay, now we got this little panel down here, and we're going to have to duplicate this layer. So the easiest way to do that is to actually hit Control J and Command J on the Mac. Anytime I say Control, it's Command on the Mac, you should know that. Control J duplicates, and you can see it's YouTube copy. The other things down here which you shouldn't be worried about, they're actually really fun to use. This is the effects panel. In future tutorials I'll go into this more and show you how fun it is. You just have to mess around. This is the mask tool, which another thing people are terrified of are masks, because, I mean, especially if you're getting robbed, but if we're talking about Photoshop, it's a completely different concept. This here is create a new adjustment layer. This is to create a new folder, new layer, and to delete a layer. For good practice, I'm going to double click on the background layer to unlock it. That just makes it a free layer now. It's a good workflow to get into, unless you want your background layer locked and not touchable. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to click on the YouTube copy channel, and we're going to hit Control T. I'm at layer, not channel. Control T, and that brings up the transform thing. And now we're going to right click inside of that and go flip vertical, because we want the reflection to be a reflection. Okay, so that looks really cool and weird, and we're going to hold down shift and then click with the black move tool, and we're just going to drag this down a little bit, and I'm going to go down too far on purpose to show you guys something. So let go. Now with the layer still selected, hit the up key, the up arrow on your keyboard a few times, and just nudge it. Makes life so much easier and saves you so much time. So let's get a little bit closer to where a true reflection would be, say right about there. The U has a weird baseline here. It's a little bit too long. You can see that. And so does the O. The O goes kind of above the rest of the typeface, but that's okay. Alright, cool. So now we've got our two layers. We've got the basic one and we've got our reflecty one. And let's go ahead and call this, if you double click on the name of the layer, you can change it. So let's call this reflecty layer. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we have to make this section, this reflecty layer, look like an actual reflection. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the mask. Bam. It is now masked. Okay? Since we want this to disappear, there's something to do with masks with the black and white value equals reveal and hide, or you know, just go watch a tutorial on masks if you really need it explained to you. I will do a future tutorial on masks to try to make it easier and less scary for people, but for now, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Oop, that sounded like an accident, but that wasn't. Okay, so we've got our gradient tool. We've got our mask selected. You want to make sure you don't have the type layer selected. You want to have the mask selected. We're going to click and hold right about here, and then drag down while holding shift. Again, Shift keeps anything in a straight line. It also does things in increments. So this is doing this in, what, tenths increments here? I'm probably stupid, I hate math, so anyway, holding down Shift, let's let go, and that's looking good. We're getting, the bottom is beginning to disappear a bit, and that's what we want. Let's do it again. Pull it out a little bit, well, actually a little bit closer here. Okay, cool, so we've got the bottom of it almost, completely disappearing, which is what we want. So that's perfect. That was just a couple little things with the gradient tool on mask. Now let's go up here while still having the same layer selected and go to opacity and turn this down to about 48%. Looks fine. Let's commit to that. That's good. And then one final thing, just to add a finishing touch, is let's go up here and grab your brush tool, and then I'm going to go into my brushes. I have a ton of brushes here, which I probably have way too many. I'm going to grab this brush right here, which is the something. It's one of the soft brushes. Okay, it's a little too big right now. So actually, this is cool. If you right above your Enter key on your keyboard, just up and over, there's the bracket keys. If you hit your left bracket, it changes the size of your brush. Again, saves you time. And I'm going to go, and I'm actually going to, with my mask selected, I'm going to start painting. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I have the wrong color selected, so I'm actually going to select black. Just hit X. X will change the background colors. And so black makes things disappear, and white makes things appear. Okay, so it's kind of opposite of what you would think, but just think dark appear, white disappear. And I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to drag across to kind of just give it a bit more uniform disappeariness. And there we go. We have a basic reflected layer of text in Photoshop, and it probably looks really cool if we were to change the background color to black per se. So let's do that. Let's double click on, actually my bad, let's just go over here to the color pick, blah blah blah, paint bucket tool. Black's already selected. We're on the background layer. Let's hit that. You can't see anything, so what we're going to do is not do that. So I'm going to have to edit that out of this so I don't look like an idiot. That is your basic reflection. It's really easy to do. If you wanted this to be red, you could still change everything because you still have your original type layer here. So let's go double click on YouTube on the type thing, and it selects it. And let's go and let's change this, and let's just click in the middle and drag all the way up to the right till you're in the very corner. Instead of clicking like this trying to get in the very corner, if you just click and drag, your cursor ends there. So just hit OK, and then let's commit to that, and then let's double click on the reflecty layer and do the exact same thing. So I'll pull this up there. Now I have a red reflection instead of a black reflection, and it still works. And then we can change the background color to black, and it might be more impactful. There you go. So you've still got a reflection, and you've got this really kind of dynamic looking YouTube deal. So that's how you do reflective text. It's really easy. You just use a mask, turn the opacity down. Quite simple stuff, and it can make anything you design just really stand out. It's a simple tool, a simple trick that people use to add a lot to their production. So thank you again. Sorry I'm long-winded. I hope that I made sense, and if I messed up on something or if I went too quickly, just let me know, and I'd be happy to go back and fix it. Thanks again, guys.